All right, man, we back with another NBA 101. Shout out to everybody for checking in. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, bell icon button, share the video. And if you missed any of the NBA 101 live streams, we have an entire playlist for these NBA live streams. So if you ever miss one or you want to go back and rewatch it, NBA 101 playlist is there. NBA Talk is a playlist that is for just video format that I do. But also, if you ever have a request for either anything, current news topic, any other sports that I could speak on, NBA video. Somebody gave me a retro hoop series, a topic that they want to know how good Dr. J was. So I'm gonna try to accommodate that one in a few days. If you missed our retro hoop series playlist, it's just about old school basketball and kind of you know bringing the light of some things that already happened. Ladipo, salute, Rayzone, I see you. So let's talk about today who should be favored to win the NBA championships. We're not talking about Vegas odds. We're talking about good fella odds right here. And I know basketball, so this is gonna be a little bit hard to predict. Also, I got into an argument with one of my boys the other day. Who the better player, Giannis or Anthony Davis? And also, we could have a summer league this year, and I'll tell you the details about that one. So, once again, I do appreciate everybody for tapping in. If you haven't, hit the thumbs up button. If you don't like what we're saying, hit the thumbs down button and let me know why. Don't forget you can follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. All those links in the description. If you ever have a video request or a question or you need advice on how to start a podcast or YouTube channel, don't hesitate to hit my line. Twitter and Instagram are the two fastest ways. And then Facebook, all the links in the description. We do have a Facebook group. If you ever want to make a donation during the live stream or a premiere, Super Chat always available. We are on Facebook, Instagram. And we also do have Cash App, PayPal in the description and rolling across your screen. Also, don't forget to check out our sponsors today, The Health Blaze at thehellblaze.com. 100% all natural products, organic. Check them out from lotion, soaps, foot soaks, bath bombs. Father's Day coming up, so for the ladies, check it out. If you got a birthday coming up for your girl or whoever else around your family, it's good birthday gifts. Hygiene is very, very good. It's very, very imperative with it being able to getting hot. Don't forget to check out our other sponsors, cell phone buyers, recyclers. They want to buy your iPhones and phones, in particular iPhones. The numbers across on your screen, 936-225-2198. They want to give you a price broke, half working, fully broke. They going to shoot you that bread. Website and their social media is in the description. So, Jay Harder, salute. So, we're going to start off. Sorry about the air conditioning in the back, but y'all know it's hot. I had to invest in some central air at one point. But, yeah, who should be favored to win the NBA championship? And you know what? You can't approach this as if the team that you thought was going to win it in March when the season ended was going to win it. At the end of the day, it's a totally different ball game right now. It's a totally different ball game. The reason it's a different ball game is because you got to look at the teams with the younger legs, the durable guys, and what we don't know is who been working hard and who ain't been hardly working. All right, a lot of guys at the crib chilling with their girl, laying pipe, drinking. Some guys been running, losing weight like James Harden. We know LeBron stay in the gym, but it's really going to be about durability. It's going to be about whoever able to get whoever able to get that stride going. All right, whoever able to peak at the right time, and whoever able to adjust. So you can't really approach it. HPT say the Milwaukee Bucks. You can't really approach it like in March, like we had home court advantage. Remember, this is gonna be like an AAU field where you all go to one or two gyms and you play a bunch of games, and also you got to get adjusted without the crowd. The refs got to get back in they swing of things. Also, coaching is going to be imperative as far as making adjustments. But pretty much most of these teams, or most of these players know each other. And the thing about the NBA is the one thing you don't have to worry about. You really don't have to cover 2K fans. Salute. Make sure I share this, man, somewhere. You don't really have to worry about the 300-pound offensive lineman or the 330-pound defensive lineman. You don't have to worry about that, in the NBA. Most of these dudes are naturally thin. The guys that you do probably have to worry about the weight, you're probably looking at Joel Embiid and Nikola Jokic is two of the dudes that kind of get out of shape that I can think of. But Giannis usually on weight, LeBron usually on weight, AD on weight. I mean, you feel me? Most of the dudes in the NBA on weight, but it's basically who's gonna be in shape. You know, a team that some people may not be looking at. It's the Denver Nuggets. I liked them this season. I think when they became the hunter, they kind of struggled some seasons. Other than last year, they were sneaking up on people. But if Nikola Jokic had been keeping himself in shape, which I wouldn't really bet on, you know what I'm saying? Depending on where he is, him and Joel Embiid still eating at Taco Bell and McDonald's, and they multimillionaires, which I never understand that. But those are two dudes. That's the team you're looking at. If Jokic is in shape and can play himself in shape, well, playing yourself in shape is gonna be pretty tough. But if he come in shape, that's a team that I think is equipped to actually win it and make a good run. They had the experience last year, which I felt they should have beat Portland, but they lacked the experience in the game 7. But the reason I say Denver is because they got a good coach and they got young legs. That's why. Denver is probably one of the youngest teams out there and one of the more durable teams out there they depth. I think they are a dark horse. Looking at Paul George history in the Clippers, and I'm kind of gonna jump all over the place with some teams that I really really like. Looking at Paul George, Paul George, he never come through in the playoffs, and that's kind of gonna be Kawhi's and the Clippers' Achilles heel. Obviously, they do have Lewis Williams to help with that, but for the second straight year in the playoffs, Kawhi's gonna be tested with taking the guy that's pretty much abysmal in the playoffs and elevate him. Last year, it was Kyle Lowry. He pretty much did a lot of that, and instead of Kyle Lowry, and Kyle Lowry finally came along. Fran VanVleet heated up after he had his baby, but really, Kawhi had the anchor on his, and he had a big anchor on his ankle, like he played when he was in Space Jam when they had Imagine Michael Jordan playing with that boulder on his leg. That was Kyle Lowry. This year is going to be Paul George. People may say CJ. Paul George is way better than Kyle Lowry. In the playoff, a nigga like me can't tell. They play the same. At the end of the day, Paul George did not get out the first round last year, did he? He did not. He did not. You can look at James Harden numbers and say, oh, he had a good playoffs, but hey, he choked all the time. Paul George historically has not been good in critical spots in the playoffs. You know, he hasn't. He hasn't. Not saying that, to me, him and Kyle Lowry pretty much the same. But that's something that he tested with, and then you just continue to look at the West, who gonna be in there. I mean, other than Denver, the Lakers, the Clippers, then you looking at maybe a team like Utah. But then again, once again, we talking about camaraderie. You look at the Utah Jazz. Mike Conley was a guy that I have a Detroit channel. Check it out, Motor City Sports Talk, especially if you like the Pistons and you like Detroit or anything around Detroit. I talk about everything. You go look at Mike Conley. He was a guy that a lot of people in Detroit wanted to get. He made $30+ million. Soon as he leaves Memphis, he's a regular guy. He no longer able to deliver outside of that Memphis organization. Utah last year, he even got benched. And then you look at the situation with Devon Mitchell, which a guy the Pistons did pass up for Luke Kennard, will still to this day hurt me as a Piston fan. But y'all pretty much know we known for passing up on Giannis. We also known for passing up on Devin Booker, and we also know for passing up on Carmelo, Dwayne Wade, Chris Bosh for Darko Milicic. But looking at Gobert and Donovan Mitchell relationship, I heard it seemed like they can't really reattach that or repair that relationship, and that may play into something. So Utah, I feel Utah, for them to make the next kind of jump, Utah needs kind of what Portland need. They need a dude on the wing that could be a prolific scorer. They got Joe Ingles, whatever his name is. He can shoot it. They got Bojanovic that came from the Pacers. He pretty good, but they need somebody on the wing that can create their own shot, and they really haven't found that. So Utah, they're a team that could be dangerous, but I think they are that wing away from being good. And then you look at Houston. Now Houston will be interesting because Westbrook, I've never seen Westbrook out of shape. James Harden seemed to be in shape. The narrative around James Harden for the excuses has been, he runs out of gas. It's no excuse to run out of gas right now. James Harden has lost a lot of weight. James Harden has been working. James Harden has had rest. So if it's any year that James Harden and Mike D'Antoni gonna get over the hump with Russell Westbrook, I think right there with Denver, when we talk about Western Conference teams, Coffee Universe, I would fear the Houston Rockets. I will fear the Houston Rockets because I believe they two superstars are going to be in shape. I believe Eric Gordon will be healthier, okay? And I believe their style of getting up and down the court is going to really, really suit this type of play. I was listening to somebody talk about it. It might have been Pat McPhee. He got the show. The podcast is pretty good. It was somebody talking about it, or I might have been reading an article. Chris Ray, salute. Dad 52, what's going on? The problem here is that they project that you won't see so much defense, that players are going to be scared to touch each other, and this may be watered down basketball. Now, basketball is already watered down from when it used to be when I was a kid. So if the defense is not going to particularly be there, and they're making it sound like this may be a glorified all-star game throughout the 8 regular season games that they're playing in the playoffs, that it may not be no defense. And I'm betting my pretty penny that Westbrook's in shape. I'm betting my pretty penny that I seen my eyes James Harden lose weight. You know what I'm saying? I know PJ Tucker a hard worker. I bet my pretty penny that Houston Rockets got a great chance at winning this. No fans, no peer pressure. You playing with no pressure at all. You're not expected to win. You know what I'm saying? I would fear the Houston Rockets from the simple point, King Cole Anderson, salute. Because they playing with no pressure, and this suits them. So teams are going to be reluctant to play defense due to coronavirus and touch, and it's going to be watered down basketball. Houston Rockets, this is going to be James Harden's best opportunity to get a championship. You know what I'm saying? They match up well with the Clippers. The Clippers don't really have a big guy in the middle. Montrez is good, and obviously the Houston don't have a big guy in the middle. And with the Lakers, which I'll talk about in a minute, I'm just waiting for Anthony Davis and LeBron to get injured in this type of situation. LeBron can do all the squats he wants to, but LeBron still put them years in, and he's still, 36, 35 years old, whatever he is. He's still an older basketball player. So when you look at the Western Conference, it's really boiled down to 4 teams that I can think of right now, and I'll pull up the list of teams. I don't want to miss nobody. But I'm gonna break it down. And I want to make sure I get every team. I don't want to leave nobody. Oklahoma City is an interesting one too. I think they could beat anybody. 1 or 2 games. I don't see them really being a danger. New Orleans, I don't see them being a danger. Portland, I don't see them being a danger. Sacramento, I don't see them being a danger. San Antonio, I don't see them being a danger. Okay. When we look at the Western Conference, I break it down into just 2 categories, or 3. I say 3. Houston right now is the 6th seed, depending on how they seed this thing out. They're the 6th seed. But I would say Denver and Houston are my dark horses. All right. My ultimate dark horse is probably going to be Houston, because this style fits Houston to get up and down the court. Both of their stars, I know, is in shape. James Harden for a fact, and Westbrook ain't never out of shape. This is the best chance for D'Antoni to save his job and Houston win the championship. So Denver and Houston is the dark horses. The 2 premier teams is going to be the Lakers and Clippers, and then it's the rest of the field. It's Utah, Oklahoma City, Dallas, Memphis, whoever get that 8th spot between Memphis, Portland, and New Orleans. We know they're trying to get Zion in there. But those are the teams that I look at out west. But let's go to the East. It's only 9 teams that made it to the East for the 8 games in the playoffs. Milwaukee, we know about Milwaukee. We know Middleton, Bledsoe, the kid from Villanova, Devinchenko, whatever his name is. He coming to his own. Giannis, we know they top dogs. Toronto is another team that I think is a tremendous team, and they putting up. They did a great job this year. If Lowry healthy and Fred VanVleet healthy and Pascal Siakam healthy, they playing with a lot of confidence. Marc Gasol, Serge Ibaka. Boston, I think Kemba will be healthy coming off the break. I think he has some injury issues. Tatum is fantastic, but something with Boston that's missing with me, and I'll talk about them later. Miami is 4. At one point, Miami ruled the day in the East. I don't know what happened, but Miami's 4. Philadelphia is 6, and Indiana is 5. So I think it really, Out of any of those six, they all can win it. You got to, I don't know if Joel Embiid has been staying in shape. I know Ben Simmons ain't working on his jumper at all. But any of those six can win it. You know what I'm saying? To be honest, if I had to break this category down or something, I like a few dudes. I like a few teams to be a dark horse. I like Miami to be a dark horse. I think Goran Dragic and Tyler Hero come back healthy. Bam, Jimmy Butler always in the gym working. Jimmy. I like Miami. I like Indiana to be honest. I love what Indiana's doing. They got Brogdon, depending on where Oladipo is with his health and what they chance with Oladipo. But the good thing about Indiana is this, and I want to speak on Indiana Pacers for a minute. The thing about Indiana is they got a good defensive backcourt. You know, Brogdon can defend. Um, Oladipo can defend. And you know what? They got some mobile bigs. They got Miles Turner who can get up and down the court and shoot it. Sabonis get up and down the court and shoot it. They got a good coach in Nate McMillan, who was an NBA player. If y'all didn't know, used to coach Seattle, I believe, back in the day. He played for Seattle, I know for sure. So Indiana is gonna go into my dark horse. Miami gonna go into my dark horse, and Philadelphia go there just because off this rip, they got two of the best players in the conference. But the team that I don't really worry about, obviously, is Brooklyn. Kyrie, KD won't be back. They said it today. Orlando, they still developing. And Boston is a team that I just don't fear. Okay, Boston is a team I'm not. They got young legs, Kimba, Jason Tatum. You know what I'm saying? But Boston is just missing something. You know what I'm saying? I don't think Danny Ainge consolidated his assets the right way. You know what I'm saying? They got Gordon Hayward. He got an option year this year. He just ain't been the same. It's not Danny Ainge's fault that Gordon Hayward came here and messed his knee up. I like Hayward game in Utah. I liked it at Butler. But I just don't fear Boston like that. I don't. And also when you in a conference where other teams have good bigs, Boston has been lacking in the middle since they lost Al Horford. You look at Milwaukee, they still got the Lopez brothers to occupy the middle. You look at Toronto, Ibaka, and they also got Marc Gasol, old ass. He's still there. Look at Miami, they still got Bam. They still got Miles Leonard, and they got I think it's got Miles Leonard. What's the other guy named the white guy that's there? Kelly Olynyk. He used to play for Boston. Look at Indiana. Sabonis, Turner. Look at Philadelphia. Joel Embiid. You know what I'm saying? So where Boston is lacking at is that they lack the men in the middle. And also they just lack, it's just, they lack Sean Salute. They lack something that I don't know what it is in Boston. I thought it was because of Kyrie's camaraderie. I love Kimba. I love Tatum. But I think it's really the development of Jaylen Brown. You know what I'm saying? And if Jaylen Brown can come his own, they can find a guy that can man the middle, anchor the middle. But I just don't think. I think Boston is just. I think Boston, and Boston could win it. I could be wrong here because they got young legs, and you know, and it depends on what type of shape they players are in, and that's kind of an asterisk by everybody. But I like what Boston is doing, but they just missing something. I like Smart, you know what I'm saying. I like some of the dudes they bringing off the bench, but they need that. When they lost Horford, they missing that anchor in the middle, and also between Jaylen Brown and Gordon Hayward, they missing that prolific guy on the wing. They missing that Siakam. They missing that Kevin Durant. They missing that Kawhi. So I really don't see them really being a big threat, in my opinion. They third right now, but that don't matter. That just means you wear whites or darks. There ain't gonna be no home court advantage. This whole thing is gonna be played in Orlando. But to break it down from Miami to Indiana to 70 to Philly, those are my dark horses. The two I feel strongly about is Milwaukee and Toronto. Something about Toronto this year, man, they playing with a lot of confidence. They playing with a lot of confidence. They coach is playing with he coached with a lot of confidence, a lot of swagger. You know what I'm saying? They got the championship pedigree. Who else got the championship pedigree in the East? Who else? You know what? And if I didn't bet Milwaukee to get the job done, I love Toronto this year. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, Kyle Lowry may not be make to return to Kyle Lowry without Kawhi Leonard there. But if you've been watching, if Norman Powell is healthy, Norman Powell was tearing the fucking league up this year. You know what I'm saying? He the reason they're gonna let Fred VanVleet probably walk. He was tearing the league up this year. Pascal Siakam was tearing the league up this year. You know what I'm saying? So I kind of want to favor Toronto to come out the East. I do love Giannis. They got the best player in the East, and Giannis. Um, but the always issue with Giannis is what he gonna get from Chris Middleton and what he gonna get from Eric Bledsoe. That's just the whole issue. If Eric Bledsoe step up to his potential that he had coming out of Kentucky, and Chris Middleton just hit his shots, and play good defense, and they both defend, and Brook Lopez and Ryan and his brother, whatever his other brother name is, they defend the bucket, and Divinchenko get him something off the bench. Milwaukee can win it, but I'm kind of a Toronto guy. I like Toronto. Like the way they coach, like their championship experience. So I'm a favorite Toronto coming out the East. But like I said before, it's gonna be about health. It's gonna be about who in shape. It's gonna be a lot of different things. It's not gonna be like we going into the playoffs in April. You know, the finals probably would have been over by now. You know, but I like Toronto to come out I like Toronto to come out the East. A lot of people probably gonna disagree with me, but I know people saying ain't no Kawhi to lock up Giannis, but I like Pascal that much, man. I think Pascal can get the job done, and I might be in the majority. I might be in the slim majority in that, but I like Toronto to come out. This is hard to predict, obviously, with all the makeshift. And if I had to pick a team to come out the West, that's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough. It's a lot of different dudes that come out the West. It's gonna be tough. I never trusted Anthony Davis in positions like this. Let me say that real quick. And people say who's the most valuable player in the March Madness Finals in the tourney, but he had a terrible championship game. I'm gonna go and say I'm gonna say Doc, I'm gonna trust Doc Rivers. I'm gonna trust Doc Rivers. I'm gonna trust the Clippers to come out there. But I really almost want to pick Houston for some odd reason. It's on my soul to pick Houston, but I'm gonna go with the Clippers in Toronto to meet in the finals and the Kawhi, versus old team finals. But I definitely could be wrong. But you know, it's just something that don't sit right with me about Anthony Davis in big moments. But and also LeBron being older, this doesn't suit an older guy for LeBron. So I'm gonna just ride with the Clippers here. But I really, really kind of want to. Something just telling me to pick Houston. He said Toronto gonna keep Van Fleet. They may. They may. They may. So something on my mind when we pick Houston. I'm gonna pick the Clippers though, man. But I think Houston got a good chance of getting there. This just screams like D'Antoni and James Harden time. I don't know why. It just seemed like this is a point where Russell Westbrook and James Harden hold up this trophy. And I know motherfuckers in the chat saying this nigga is crazy. But I don't know, man. I don't know, man. This just seemed like a situation where Houston can win it. Y'all, I know y'all looking at me like it's just something telling me that I can see Westbrook and James Harden winning it, and everybody said it ain't a real championship. They wouldn't have did this if this was the finals. If this was the regular finals. So I'm screaming to me that James and Russell gonna do it, man. I don't know why, bro. I want to pick them, man, but he said we going to put whooping on the Clippers, Houston. Man, I don't trust Anthony Davis at all, bro. A lot of y'all put a lot of stock in Anthony Davis, especially you talk about his timeliness of getting injured. You know what I'm saying? I don't trust him. That ball shit ain't going. Why won't it work in this situation? Now, if this was regular playoffs, I would agree with you. But if these dudes, what the writers are predicting that defense may not be at a premium because people are gonna be scared to touch and all that, And I think I've seen James Harden in shape. I know Russell in shape. This would be a great chance. This is gonna be a time for them to overachieve. The Clippers don't have a center. Montrezl Zubac, man, they play him like 5 seconds and he out. Denver do. The Lakers got AD. That is true. Utah got Gobert, but I don't know, man. I just got a feeling it just seemed like But the thing of people talking about the center ain't no big man standing in the paint and dominating the block no more. Not 48 minutes or 40 minutes. Even Anthony Davis sitting out there shooting threes. But with the Lakers, I never trusted Anthony Davis, bro. I just been one of those dudes. I seen him choke time and time again. But it's a great way the COVID zone may work, man. Exactly, bro. It depends on what type of play you get. Well, dudes, you're gonna get injuries. You're gonna get soft tissue injuries. You're gonna get, dudes being tired. You know what I'm saying? Everybody ain't in shape. And even the dudes that think they in shape, you can't simulate up and down basketball. So this is really gonna favor the dudes that's in their prime. This is gonna be favor the dudes that have been working hard. It's gonna favor the younger guys. I can see Kawhi Leonard going there saying I pulled something. Paul George always getting hurt. So I'm not solid on the Clipper pick. I'm tending to think some of these younger teams may end up, like Denver or Houston or Toronto or Giannis and them in the Bucks. Some of these younger teams may thrive because they fast twitch muscles gonna snap back quickly. They muscle memory gonna snap back quickly. You know what I'm saying? LeBron can easily go out there and get hurt. Anthony Davis is known for getting hurt. And then with the Lakers, you playing with a lot of different veterans like Rondo, Caldwell Pope. He ain't that old though. Danny Green, and I just never really liked the makeup of that team for a playoff series. I never did. With Danny Green when they beat the Clippers last time, he like 7-8 threes. Danny Green is one of the most inconsistent motherfuckers in the playoffs. Danny Green might give you one good game, but the depend on Danny Green, Caldwell Pope, JaVale McGee, who else they got over there? Rondo, you could depend on him, to make the right play. But I just never really liked the way the team was constructed. You know what I'm saying? They didn't find a way to implement Kuzma. You know what I'm saying? Kuzma is young. He want to start. He want the ball. He's still adjusting. When it was him and LeBron last year, and Lonzo really wasn't a fucking factor, he worked well. But it's just I never really liked the way the roster was constructed with LeBron and Anthony Davis. And people talking about they the best 1-2 punch since Kobe and Shaq. I don't know. They may not be better than T-Mac and Yao Ming. We got to fucking see here. But I never really liked the way the roster was built. Dion Waiters, ain't nobody worried about Dion Waiters, bro. He too busy popping pills and skating in his basement and shit. I like Dion when he got paid, but ain't nobody worried about Dion Waiters, bro. This motherfucker ain't played basketball for like at least 30 games for the last 2 or 3 seasons. So, but I'm kind of like this is hard to predict, man. This is hard to predict, man. I think this might be one of the years where you get some parity in the championship. Now, if this was a regular playoff run, I'm just going to stick with the Clippers, the Lakers, and Denver was my dark horse. Kind of going into March in the Eastern Conference. I still like Toronto. I just still like Toronto. Something about Milwaukee don't sit right with me. It ain't Giannis' fault. He still ain't really developed the jumper the way he needed to develop it. I just like Toronto. You know what I'm saying? They got the most experience out east, man. And, that's just what I like. And I'm not saying that I'm the supreme ruler. I know all. But I'm going to tell you this about Indiana. Let's speak about Indiana for a minute before we talk about Giannis and Anthony Davis. If Indiana is able to keep Victor Oladipo with Brogdon, and they able to flip Jeremy Lamb and Miles Turner and get them a prolific wing, you know who would have helped Indiana? Fucking Carmelo Anthony. Carmelo Anthony would have helped Indiana on the wing. But at this point, he more like a 4 than a 3. You know what I'm saying? Carmelo more of a block 4. He kind of giving you more of a Bernard King type of feel. And if you don't know who Bernard King is, go check him out. The Retro Hoop Series, we talk about him. That's what Carmelo game will remind you of, just with more 3-point range. So I think they could have used Carmelo. I think Carmelo can still do some things from the wing. But Indiana, I like where they going. Defense first, good coaching. But they missing that. They missing that Durant, that Kawhi on the wing, and obviously nobody wants to live in Indiana in the league. So I think Oladipo. He ain't finished. He ain't finished. He looked pretty good at some points coming in this season. I don't think he finished. He got one more year at 21 million. I like Oladipo game, bro. Him and Brogdon gonna be some pit bulls in the backcourt. They gonna be able to lock you up. What y'all think about Malcolm Brogdon? What y'all think about? Y'all like Brogdon? Love his game, bro. He may not be the flashy pick. He might have a porn mustache. I love Brogdon game. Good defender. Like, he real patient. I liked him at Virginia. And dude at Virginia, he doing a good job, man. Developing talent. TJ, so I've been telling people, young teams like Miami could make it to the finals. They got the young leg in the bench. Milwaukee too. I mean Miami too. What people got to understand is when you get older, like when I started to change when I turned 30, I couldn't eat the stuff I used to eat. I used to drink, man. Go out every day of the week, work, drink, and wake up, go to the gym, sweat that shit off, and live my day. I can't do that shit no more. When you hit 30, your body starts to change. It ain't saying that you old, but your fast twitch muscles, like you gotta start stretching. You know what I'm saying? You gotta start doing jumping jacks. You gotta start doing those little stretches where you go to the toes, to the waist, and you stretch way back. You gotta start doing that shit, bro. Ain't no simulation for doing this basketball shit, man. For real. Yeah, Brogdon is an animal. And I heard John Wall may make his return. Now, I like John Wall as a player, but the people in Washington don't like him. Bradley Beal don't like him. That's why Bradley Beal didn't want to stay. John Wall refused to let Bradley Beal handle the ball. That's what happened. Go look at them stories about how Jeff Green and Bradley Beal was they rumored to leak information, or somebody leaked information about how John Wall was selfish and that he would walk all over Scott Brooks, the coach, and he wouldn't share the ball and he wouldn't let Bradley Beal be great. So they don't like John Wall in Washington. So it's a lot of people in Washington that wanted to leave that organization because John Wall was selfish. Remember John Wall? He remember, people don't remember this. He blew his Achilles out. Then the story came out. He slipped at the house and blew it out again. Okay, so he blew his Achilles out twice. So that's something to look at as well with John Wall. Love his game, but you can't think you LeBron, bro. See, LeBron ain't giving that rock up for real. LeBron gonna let the game. He gonna let the game go through him. But when you LeBron, you the fucking one of the best players on the planet, if not the best player on the planet. I can do that. John Wall, if the ball in your hands, we lucky if we win 45 fucking games. You not LeBron James. You can't shoot like LeBron James. You can't facilitate like LeBron James. But you know one thing about John Wall? He probably is the best defensive point guard in the league as far as the top guys. Detroit's Legends Sportscast, salute. He is probably the best. Him, Brogdon, is probably in Westbrook when he won. Them the three best defensive point guards. If Westbrook was under somebody that like Pat Riley would get the most out of Westbrook. Westbrook would probably be Defensive Player of the Year if he played on some of them Magic and Kareem teams, or he played on them Knicks teams. Pat Riley would make Westbrook the Defensive Player of the Year. It's no reason why Westbrook should have never got a DPOY of the year. Because when Westbrook want to lock down, Westbrook can lock down almost any guard in the league. Same thing with John, the same thing with Brogdon. Those are probably my three picks as the top lockdown point guards that I can think of right now. You know what I'm saying? And what thing crazy about it? A lot of these small market teams like Milwaukee, Indiana, Indiana having problems with balancing money, so they may not play Oladipo unless they can move Lamb or they can move Miles Turner because they're a smaller market. But I didn't understand why Milwaukee didn't try to acquire Chris Paul, or they never tried to acquire Russell Westbrook. They paid Chris Middleton all that money, and he wasn't worth that, but you had to pay him. But I felt they should have made a flip, and they should have went for it this year. I would have traded my first rounder for the next 2 years, and whoever contracts matched up to get Chris Paul. Yeah, the Thunder made it. Yup, they number 6 in the East right now. I'm in the West. Let me give you an accurate one. Yeah, they number 5, matter of fact. So the playoffs started today. They'll be on the road versus Utah, which ain't no home and road. So yeah, the Thunder made it. Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, Chris Paul, and Dennis Schroeder and Gallinari, when he's been healthy, they've been hooping. Hell yeah! And when they healthy, Gilgeous-Alexander, man, whew, if that's a kid that's gonna be a star in this league. In this league, LeBron crunch time will fold every time I got the Clippers. What about Anthony Davis in crunch time? Savage Life say Brogdon can defend and knock down the big shot. Ain't the best, but he plays with yeah, I mean, he ain't the fastest or the most athletic, but he could be on my team any day of the year. I like them to beat Utah. Obviously, Creeps for CP3. If they do play Utah, and that's how I pan out. Remember, they got 8 more regular season games to go. If they do play Utah, man, Gobert and Donovan Mitchell still ain't buried the hatchet yet, from what I understand. So they beefing. So rightfully so. Gobert not, taking the coronavirus, seriously. So, yeah, I like them to be Utah. Chris Paul is definitely in the MVP conversation. He may not be 1, 2, 3. I would give it to Giannis this year. I would say my 3 is probably Giannis, I'll get Giannis to win it. LeBron, Anthony Davis, James Harden, and Chris Paul will kind of round out my five. And then yes, Anthony Davis is an MVP candidate. The whole Jazz locker room. But I mean, don't no nigga want to be in Utah? No way. Ain't no brother trying to be in Utah. You ever heard somebody black say, "Hey, I'm going to Utah"? Never in the history of niggerdom. Donovan Mitchell may be trying to get his way out of Utah. Shit, Gobert don't care. Shoot, they could trade Gobert to Golden State. That's exactly what they need. He said Chris Paul will be a Laker before his career is over when he will play with LeBron. Man, I don't think he want to play with LeBron. He gonna be. It's gonna be the same situation in Houston. He gonna be a glorified spot up jump shooter. If I had to say a good place for him to go, if Giannis don't shake the spot, I like him in Milwaukee. I know Milwaukee ain't sexy. I like him in Miami. You know what I'm saying? But obviously Miami don't want to give up Hero. Miami and Milwaukee be good picks for Chris Paul. I mean, obviously Boston got Kemba. Obviously, Brooklyn got Kyrie. Maybe they can flip him to Toronto. I think he'd be good in Toronto. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, Carl was a country boy. Yeah, oh yeah, man. Carl was from what? Louisiana. Carl Malone, every brother and a brother. I'll just leave it at that. Yeah, I don't see him. Like I said before, I'm gonna get to AD and the Giannis talk. Like man, if Chris Paul go to the Knicks, he might as well. She might as well stay in Oklahoma City, bro. But the thing about LeBron, like, dude, LeBron need a point guard like Derek Fisher that can D up and spot up from three. Chris Paul just offered so much to the table, bro. He offered too much, man. He offered too much. No, Malone from Louisiana, my nigga, bro. I'm pretty sure Karl Malone from Louisiana or Louisiana. I'm gonna double check. One of the most shittiest human beings in NBA history. You might be right. Yeah, he's from Summerfield, Louisiana. Don't get me wrong. Karl Malone is one of the best fours I ever seen play. Now, if you had to give me the top fours of all time, I think Tim Duncan is a center. He only got labeled a four for playing next to David Robinson. But my top fours is probably Timmy. I would say Timmy, Garnett, Malone. I could be missing some people. Malone, Barkley somewhere in there. It's somewhere in there. Those are four. But Garnett, my favorite four of all time. I mean, it is no debatable. Garnett was probably my second favorite player next to Iverson. Yeah, I like KG over Malone. I like KG over Malone. Malone was great. You know what I'm saying? Don't get me wrong. KG did get that title. And KG, I think he was a little better well-rounded. He hit his free throws. Yeah, Dirk in there for sure. Dirk, yeah, definitely Dirk in there. Yep. I know I was forgetting Dirk in there for sure. I love Dirk. Love me some Dirk. Dirk might be Dirk might have moved in my top 10 favorite. When he beat LeBron in the finals, man, I got a Dirk jersey in there, right? I got a Mavericks jersey, right? I'm giving me a Dirk jersey. His son played at LSU. Which one? Because he got another one that played at La Tech that he didn't claim. Real talk. My brother just texted me some shit, bro. That's crazy. I can't say this on live. That's crazy shit, man. But Charles Barkley, Karl Malone, Kevin Garnett, and Tim Duncan. He said Karl Malone did some suspect. Yeah, for real, bro. As a person, I can't respect him. For real. I can't respect him. I can't remember. But let's talk about AD and Giannis, man. It's a good debate right here. I had a debate with my boy, right? And I'm gonna read this shit, right? All right, you want to debate, but a nigga don't comment again, bro. And I'm gonna read this out to y'all. Cause he called me on the phone like a couple weeks ago. We went to college together, and he a Dallas Cowboy fan from Alabama. Don't ask me. So the post said this: Kendrick Perkins. What is Kendrick Perkins drinking? He says that not skilled enough. Kendrick claims that Anthony Davis is more skilled than Giannis. I can understand where you're coming from to that point. But I said, this is what I said. This is what I said. I said if you replace Giannis with AD on the Bucks wouldn't be the best team in the league. He said they would definitely be the best team in the East. Then I said this. No, they wouldn't. Stop it. The Lakers ain't the best team in the league with him and LeBron. He didn't say nothing. It's been 21 hours since I posted that. He ain't said nothing after that. Okay? Anthony Davis is not better than Giannis. He might be more skilled. He might got a better hook shot. He might got a better jump shot. He might got a better crossover. Whatever you want to say. You put him on the Milwaukee Bucks, you niggas gonna be crying and complaining and saying he ain't got enough help. How can you say a dude that's an MVP in Milwaukee? What was Milwaukee before Giannis got there? I don't even remember. We in the same division as them. All right. But however you want to say niggas shoot better, all this. It's a proven fact that Giannis is a better player. He's been the most valuable player in the league. Look here. Milwaukee ain't got. You can make an argument that New Orleans is just as talented as Milwaukee is. Chris Middleton is he really better than Drew Holiday? You can put Drew Holiday over there with Giannis, and the Milwaukee Bucks might be better. You know what I'm saying? I think it ain't the system in Milwaukee, nigga. Like this, they up. Jason Kidd, they was still winning. They was winning more than New Orleans. What system in Milwaukee is there? What system in Milwaukee you talking about? What system? Give it to Giannis and everybody get the fuck out the way and he dish it or he dunk it. And Giannis is just as good as defender as Anthony Davis is too. He can give you the perimeter defense. He can defend in the middle. TJ said AD can't carry a team. He's a big and plays like a big. Giannis plays like a guard. He brings the ball up the court and makes everyone around him better. AD can't do it. Exactly, bro. Savage Life said Giannis is the most dominant player in the league. Look here, he more durable than Anthony Davis. He can carry a team. People say, well, that's in the East. Man, he dominating the whole league. East, West, South, North. He dominates the whole league, my dude. His record versus the Western Conference teams, I bet you, is still good. Benjamin Foss said Chris Middleton hella overrated. If Greek leaves, they gonna get exposed. You ain't like exposed. Man, them niggas gonna be in the lottery. They gonna be trying to get Imani Bates. He said Milwaukee was the AC Angley prior to the rival of prior to Giannis' arrival. Remember Brandon Jennings? Now Brandon Jennings did good as a Piston until he got injured. That fucked our whole franchise up. That's how we end up with Reggie Jackson, sorry ass. But that's another story for another day. But shit. That nigga Anthony Davis was with the Milwaukee Bucks of the West with New Orleans. he was with the Milwaukee Bucks of the West. Come on, man. Mike Budenholzer had the Hawks relevant. You want a cookie for that? The Giannis was relevant under Jason Kidd. Budenholzer, a good coach. He got them to defend down. But I'm telling you, bro, people talking about who MVP. LeBron playing with another top 5 player with Anthony Davis. He and my MVP candidate. And people want to just. That's why motherfuckers don't want to play with LeBron. Okay? That's why people don't want to play with LeBron. Because Anthony Davis is the biggest difference between the Lakers this year and last year. Last year, they wasn't in the playoffs. This year, Anthony Davis is the biggest difference between them not being a playoff team and LeBron injury, obviously, and them being the number 1 seed in the West. What did Budenholzer win? Nothing. The East wasn't really. The East is better than it is now. The East wasn't shit back then. You had little Isaiah Thomas leading this team to the conference finals. So you gotta say Anthony Davis is an MVP candidate. Who's the next best player that Giannis playing with? Chris Middleton, Eric Bledsoe. He ain't really. I can't understand why they paid him. Swiss teams, the Bucks is the 5 with 8. They lucky to be the 5. They lucky to be the 5. It's a lot of games this year that AD would have sat out in New Orleans. Don't forget that. It's a lot of games that he was game time decision that he played. And the only reason he played is because the NBA needed the TV ratings to go up, and they was tired of LeBron doing the load management. This ain't even close. And if LeBron leaves fucking Lakers, and, Anthony Davis might not even have them niggas in the playoffs. That roster is that bad. If LeBron lead the Lakers, who else they got other than Anthony Davis? Kyle Kuzma. This year coming off a foot injury, he ain't been looking so cozy. You feel me? Wordplay bars. So you take AD or LeBron off the Lakers this year, and you don't make that trade. You keep Lonzo and Brent and people who saying, "Oh, Brandon Ingram would have did that." Hell no. LeBron was torturing Brandon Ingram career. The reason Ingram went over to New Orleans to start balling is because he became the vocal point. He became the primarily ball handler. But when Zion came back, Ingram, like I said before, Ingram kind of faded away. Ingram got to be somewhere where he could be Grant Hill, at least be Scottie Pippen. Jordan at least let Scottie Pippen doom up the court. Ingram was never going to be what he always be considered Ingram a bust if he stayed in LA with LeBron. Isaiah Thomas, the second best point guard ever to play the game. That's why he let them. I mean, yeah, you can. I mean, a lot of people like Oscar. A lot of people like Magic. You know what I'm saying? Don't forget Isaiah. Isaiah fucking beat. He should have had 3 rings versus the Lakers. You can make a case he better than Magic. He ain't never had no other Pistons. Look, y'all about to get me started on the Pistons. Isaiah never play with another top 50 player. Let that sit on your mind. Like let that sit on your mind. Isaiah didn't have another top 50 player. Bird had McHale and Parrish and Magic had Worthy and Kareem, and he had other good solid players like Byron Scott and Michael Cooper, Michael Thompson. Yeah, got good players. There was never another top 50 Piston that made the top 50 greatest players. That's a fact. That's a fact. And Isaiah really should have won 3 straight if you know the story. But they ain't never liked Detroit. That's the only thing was. The NBA was so mad that Detroit was that dominant and really stopped Jordan and got in the Celtics' way. But I'm not gonna go there. Magic had a lot of help. He had the refs help and all that shit. I ain't gonna get into that. You can make a case Zeke is the best point guard of all time. You can make a case Oscar over him. Magic never won another title without Kareem. But you can't the ESPN, and the Shannon Sharps and them, these fake boxing, basketball savants, they'll never tell you that. They'll never mention that about Isaiah Thomas. It's taboo to speak. But yeah, man, but but yeah, I think Giannis is a better player right now. AD might be have more tools in the box, but the durability and Giannis played the game like a guard. I think the guards reign supreme in today's game, and a lot of that got to do with 78 kick salute. A lot of that got to do with Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan took the NBA from a guards league from a big man's league to a guard league. Dirk Nowitzki made the big man into a finesse position. Dirk started letting these dudes shoot threes and all that shit. So Dirk and Jordan had a lot to do with the evolution of the guards dominating the league. Now in college, guards used to dominate the tournament. You know what I'm saying? But now guards dominate basketball. You know what I'm saying? That's the difference between now and when Jordan was drafted and back in the day. It was always known that it was always said you had to have Bill Walton, a Bill Russell, a Will Chamberlain, a Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Hakeem Olajuwon, a Patrick Ewing, Alonzo Mourning. You had to have somebody solid or really good in the middle to win a championship. And Jordan was the first player to kind of show, like, really it was Isaiah, but, let's just go with their narrative. Jordan was the first person to show that you didn't need a guard to win a championship to build a dynasty. You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of what happened there. Giannis versus AD 1-on-1 will go crazy. That'd be a good one. Siakam is another one who on it. Oh yeah, for sure. We just spoke him up. Good. I like Siakam. Yeah, I picked Toronto to come out the East. Think they young and Nick Wright that's the name of the coach is really really good. But before I open up for Q and A, let me tell you how the NBA is going to do summer league this year. So give me a minute. Give me a minute. I have to remember it. This nigga, man. I text this nigga back. But I'm just laughing, dog. This nigga got me rolling, my brother. But yeah, summer league. They going the other 8 teams that didn't make it to the regular to the season, to the reboot season. They complaining to the NBA saying that 9 months off too long. It's gonna hurt the development of their players. So the NBA is in talks with the Knicks, the Hawks, the Pistons, and whoever else didn't make the playoffs. There's 8 other teams that didn't make it. They in talks with them about starting a mini summer league in August, and it also is going to be televised. And they're talking about doing joint practices, OTAs, and also these teams are trying to advocate to go to camp 2 weeks early, um, to kind of make up the difference because these teams gonna play 8 regular season games. Then they're gonna play from July. Then they're gonna play from whenever that is to October 12th to the finals. So that's a long time for people to be stagnant. Remember, it won't be no traditional summer league this year because the season they trying to get to start December 1st. So if the season is over October 12th, they're gonna have about a month off. They probably gonna do 2 or 3 weeks of training camp. Um, so, like I said before, they're gonna mess up 2 seasons trying to save one. So you can see if you a Knicks fan, a Hawks fan. I don't have the article in front of me. You a Knicks fan, a Hawks fan, or whatever your team didn't make the Phoenix Suns, whatever team that's the 8 teams that didn't make it, you still can see them play ball on television in August. So that's gonna be the new summer league. So some of these players can get some run, and they're gonna televise it probably on NBA TV, and that's gonna be right in the middle of the NBA playoffs as well too, because that's gonna run through October 12th. And if you didn't know, draft lottery will be August 25th, and the draft is gonna be October 15th. So not I don't believe these summer league games are gonna have any. Um, they're not going to have any weight on your draft position. So I think the lottery. I don't know exactly how they're going to do lottery this year, but I think those 8 teams going to have the best slot to win. So Magic is the only point guard to come out his rookie and win. Man, that nigga had Kareem. Kareem was hurt 1 game, but that is true. Michael Turner Jr. with his buck dancing future, can he stay healthy? And back injury's tough, man. I still like his game, but yeah, you gotta remember he mixed. You know what I'm saying? And you got a lot of these dudes that's man of faith that's trying to use the turn the other cheek, and we got to come together and hug each other and all that type of shit, man. You got to remember he mixed. That was a white boy speaking out of him. But y'all got any questions? I'll answer them real quick. No, my dog. Hold on. Any question? Michael Porter Jr. is back is worse than Dwight Howard's. Well, he young. Yeah, would you think we should give Christian Wood 70 million? Hell no. But it wouldn't affect them though. It wouldn't affect the Pistons because you're not trying to build through the. Ain't nobody gonna give him 70 million to begin with. But the Pistons don't. It wouldn't matter because they not gonna get no big free agency. They got to build through the draft. So you can give him a max contract for 3 years. It's not gonna affect the Pistons. They build him through the draft. So by the time that 3 year contract is up, they gonna be able to plug in another big guy. Blake Griffin gonna get cut pretty soon anyway, probably. So they got a lot of money to play with if they ever amnesty him. But any other NBA related questions, I'll take it on right now. But yeah, Michael Porter Jr. I like his game, but it all depends on his back. And one thing I learned, one thing, one thing I learned about the back injury when I used to be in a CNC Mills and Lay's class is that you always can heal a back injury. So it's not true once your back go out, it's done forever. You also can heal it. Michael Jordan is happy. Yeah. I mean, what you expect? And I think his dad played in the league or something, or coach. A lot of these white mothers is raising these dudes. Like Patrick Mahomes, I told y'all he don't identify with being black. If the Lakers win it all, win it, boost Bron's legacy. Do the nope. I ain't giving them. I ain't counting for nobody. Basketball director, salute. I ain't counting it for nobody. Straight up and down. I wish this wouldn't have happened though, because LeBron and them had a lot of good momentum going. I'm not gonna count it against him neither. I'll make fun about it if he choked, but I won't count this against him. I won't count it against him. But we see how it go. It may be competitive, man. It may be competitive. We may not have no coronavirus things. We may not have no injuries. It may be no excuses. But what's so tough for niggas like him, Brian and Giannis? You worked all season to get home court advantage. Y'all keep asking the question. You worked all season to get home court advantage, and now the best you can do is whites and darks. Get the fuck up out of here. That's some bullshit. The crowd, the fans, and home court. That all, man. The Clippers had it laid out so smooth. They weren't trying to be the young one seed. They was just trying to, get the 2 seed and meet the Lakers in the Western Conference Finals, and neither one of them had to travel. That was a big thing where while LeBron didn't have to travel for a whole series and then going to the finals, and Giannis had to travel all these different cities, that's a huge advantage to stay at home and rest instead of traveling all across the West Coast, going to Minnesota or going to Phoenix, even though it ain't far. If you ever travel by Greyhound, by plane, by bus, by automobile, train, by feet, it takes a lot out of you. Traveling, no matter if it's by car or by plane or by train or by automobile, it takes a lot out of you. Even a private jet. I've flown over like 50 times in my life. And I always get off the plane. I go to see. I remember somebody was telling me, we was cooking for Memorial's Day. We was chilling in my house. And they had, travel from Atlanta to Detroit. I believe they drove. She was like, she just want to sleep all day. When you travel, nigga, I'm tired. It's really tiring. How bad do you think the NBA wants Zion? Bad. They want Zion in the playoffs bad. That's viewership. I want to see Zion in the playoffs. Shit. But I also take Ja Morant. You know what I'm saying? But they want him in there bad. I like New Orleans. It's just that it's something about I don't like the coach. Never like Alvin Gentry, even though he was the coach of the Pistons. Golden State get Giannis, it get worse than KD Bryant. Just depends on what they have to give up. If they got to give up Klay Thompson, giving up a lot of shooting. If they just got to get rid of Draymond and Andrew Wiggins, then it'll be nice. I really ain't giving no thought of how good that team would be. Remember, Steph Curry getting older and he was dealing with a lot of injuries before, and they made a lot of championship runs. Steph Curry may never be the same player again after a while. They talking about 2K noise. Yeah, I heard that. The NFL was talking about pumping some noise in, or some sport was. Basketball director say, why didn't Brian want the season to end? That makes more sense. Why didn't Brian want the season to end? He did want the season to end. He did. That's a fact. Until them big wigs got in his ear and told him that no, Brian wanted the season to end and not continue until they was talking about recouping their money. And a lot of clutch sports clients had already got paid like what 90% of their pay, and they was talking about recouping that money. And then LeBron changed his tune. That's the difference. The players didn't want to start back up until they started talking about taking their money away. Blake either gonna ring chase or pad his stats to get in the Hall of Fame. Well, shit, it's a lot. I mean, there's a lot of dudes in the Hall of Fame that don't deserve to be in there. So, ring chase. It won't feel right, I think he meant, but the league is all about money. Yeah, it's all about money. They don't care about that's corporate America. When you go work at Amazon, you go work at the grocery store, or you go work at the factory, maybe Kia, maybe General Motors, Hyundai, whoever you work at, they don't care about you. I've worked in the plant. I've seen people die, and they just roll them off. I seen somebody come up there. Well, I didn't work there then, but I heard a story about the dude coming up there and killing his girl and chasing her out there and killing her on Belle Isle. And they stopped the line for a day, and everybody went back to work. People die. They stopped the line for a second. They go back to work. So I don't care about your well-being. Healthy Clipper team is a problem. They were breaking down physically during the season. Kenny Mitch, salute. He said the basketball director, I won't feel right, but the league is all yeah, I've seen that one. I rather see Ja. I rather see both of them, but that's not gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? But Ja nice, bro. Like Ja a problem, bro. I told y'all, man, that was my dude. That was my pick to be rookie of the year with a healthy Zion. But Zion that came in the ground rolling, bro. Zion a bad motherfucker, dog. I'd say straight up and down. Zion bad. But I do think New Orleans. I keep asking questions. I do think New Orleans is gonna have to move on from Brandon Ingram. You know what I'm saying? Brandon Ingram and Zion ain't mixing too well. You know what I'm saying? And Brandon Ingram and Lonzo don't mix too well neither. Ingram is really a guy that need to be next to a point guard like Derek Fisher or something like that. Ingram is a true point forward. Him and LeBron play the same position. You know what I'm saying? Ingram would be nice with Portland. You know, Damian Lillard don't always need the ball. He don't mind giving enough to CJ McCollum. Brandon Ingram would be the perfect fit for what Portland needs. And if they can trade CJ McCollum for Brandon Ingram, and they can bring a just a 3-and-D guy next to Damian Lillard, that'd be cool. I don't know who exactly out there, but Brandon Ingram is exactly what Portland is missing. Until Zion came back, then he kind of started wavering a little bit because Zion kind of started messing the offense up. But Ingram is a problem. I love him to be on the Pistons. I like Ingram. I don't really like players out of Duke, but yeah, I like Brandon Ingram in Detroit. I love Ingram to come to Detroit. I'll straight get the jersey, and I don't like Duke play. Only last Duke player I like was Grant Hill. You think if Zion ball out, he catch job for rookie? Hell no. Hell no. That's unfair. Zion got to sit out, get healthy. He played against a lot of dudes that didn't have the energy that he had. But no, not no 8 games. They probably gonna try to give it to Zion, but Ja's rookie of the year. Memphis was what pick was Memphis? Memphis was the second worst team in the league. Ja got them in the playoffs the first year, so he said James Harden stupid as really spent $1 million in the strip club. They retired his jersey with the clown. Hey dog, he always loved the strip club. I remember the year, and that was a few years ago. That story that just came to light. But one year they played the Spurs in Kawhi, and I said that in this video. They played the Spurs in Kawhi, and Kawhi didn't play the game 6, was it? Refresh my memory, y'all remember this. I ain't got my water up here. I gotta get my water. But they played game 6 without Kawhi. James Harden choked the game they lost. This nigga was at the liquor store right after the game. I swear to God, bro. He was at the liquor store buying liquor after the game, bro. 2017. Like I lost all respect for him, but everybody don't have the same goals, bro. If everybody had the same goals to be great, you know how many great players that we have, or great people we have? You know what I'm saying? You know how many great citizens we have if everybody goes to be great and everybody had to drive? Everybody be like Jeff Bezos. Everybody be like Robert Johnson. Everybody be like Michael Jordan. Everybody be like Bill Gates. That's the difference between tiers. You feel me? It's difference between tiers. Like all-star is a good player that's above your average player, like way above your average player. A superstar is a player that's like above an all-star, but he's special. He work hard. He consistent year in and year out. You gonna get the MVP type season. And Harden isn't a superstar. And the elites, the Kobe's, the LeBrons, the Jordan, they are elite, but they are obsessed with winning. They have the intangibles to go along with the tangibles. They don't have some of the intangibles. You know what I'm saying? They have all the intangibles. LeBron is able to preserve his bodies because he's dedicated throughout the off season. He got that drive. James Harden, that's the difference between Harden and the rest of them. The T-Max, the Hardens, and then that's the difference between from them to Jordan and Tim to them. Them dudes were obsessed with winning. They weren't going to no strip clubs and they wasn't bullshitting around between games. They are obsessed, and that's the difference. Harden gonna have to say, you know what? I want this shit bad. It ain't that he can't do it, and also his coach holding him back. You get him in a regular offensive system, I think he'd be better, but he may just be spoiled putting up these type of numbers. But Harden gonna have to want it. Harden gonna have to say, you know what, bro? Before he get out his prime, like we gotta change some shit. I gotta commit to playing defense. I gotta ice my ankles, ice my knees down. I gotta worry about recovering, rather than dropping some dollars on some coochie. He gotta make that. He gotta make that before it's too late. By the time you realize he's 33, 34, he gonna be on the downside of his career trying to be a Barkley or Gary Payton and try to hang on to get a ring. Everybody truly don't have a drive to win. Everybody main goal ain't to win. Some motherfuckers just happy with getting 30, $20 million. Some people get $1 million and they just happy. That's the difference between the dudes that's ambitious and the hustlers and the successful men in the underworld and in the corporate world. That's the difference between your Bill Gates, your Big Meeches, your Freeway Ricky Rosses, and your Jeff Bezos. They have the hunger. Dan Gilbert's, Jerry Jones, Steve Ballmer's. They have the hunger for more than your average guy that's in their class. James Harden, he got to find the hunger in him, and he got to sacrifice. Is he willing to sacrifice the liquor, the titties, the strip clubs, the hot wings, and say, you know what? Fuck all that. I want this. If James Harden able to turn that on with a few modifications in that organization, there's no doubt in my mind James Harden can go down as the greatest shooting guard of all time. With his numbers, he can win rings. He just got to be committed. But, if you ain't been committed by this time, he been choking in the finals since he was a teenager, since he was 20-some years old. So that's why he can't never be in that Kobe Jordan class or Dwayne Wade class, no matter what the numbers say. When it was time to hit that switch, D Wade had one of the greatest finals performances I ever seen. Dirk Nowitzki, he made that sacrifice. He said, you know what? Fuck that. That year when they swept the Lakers and they beat the Heat, wasn't nobody beating Dirk that year. Dirk made up his mind and said, you know what? Fuck that. They stole the last championship from me. I'm going to take this ring. Dirk etched himself. Same thing with Garnett. All right, man. Kobe and Shaq stopped me for so many years. You know what? Fuck that. I'm turning it on this year. That's the difference. You know what I'm saying? That's the difference. Some guys like Tim Duncan got a Popovich to help him out, or Pat Riley to help him out like Magic and Kareem. James Harden is going to have to be all of that if they keep him. So, take Walker, salute. James Harden just got to say, you know what? Before it's too late, let me turn my swag on, man. Let me turn. Y'all keep asking questions. We in the ball. I'm going to turn on some UFC in a minute, bro. So, I'm going to have to get off in a minute. When Manu blocked his shot, man, that shit was nuts. Ginobili definitely a Hall of Famer. I will say that. He ain't better than what Skip Bayless said he was, whoever that was. Travel and then practice with where you are. Hell yeah. They got all that free time. He probably busting them cheeks. He ain't got no wife. He was fucking with Ashanti. James Harden probably be going. He got groupies in every city. He got to turn that shit away, turn that shit down. He don't take the game serious. The talent is there. He just living his best life. If that's his goal, he don't care about winning. When he retire, he will. He gonna be doing some type of sports show, and they gonna be taking shots at him like Chuck. He gonna be the only nigga up there without a ring. He gonna be sitting up there with Giannis, not Giannis. We gonna be sitting up there with other people. Chris Paul too. That's gonna haunt Chris Paul. Drumming the center version of Harden. As long as I get my numbers, I won. I mean, yeah, he younger than Harden though, but yeah, MJ was a different cat though. MJ was a different breed. MJ put that work in. What tier you put Vince Carter in? Vince Carter was, I say superstar. He wasn't elite. I say superstar. Remember, Iverson came there, bust his ass in the playoffs. He was a superstar. It was some years that Vince was averaging 30 almost a game. So yeah, Vince was a superstar. He wasn't elite though. Elite like Kobe, LeBron, like no. He ain't one of the top 5 small forwards of all time. If these players had Michael Jordan and Kobe work at, it'll be over with. Ingram's scoring ability with Lonzo passing ability, great perimeter defense to go with Zion inside presence would be scary. It just seemed like his work rate kind of dropped off with Zion got, and also in the middle of the season when you throw Zion in the game plan, maybe Alvin Gentry can make it work. You might be right, but Zion is more of a guy he really ain't a back to your basket type of guy yet. He more of a guy that get it on the wing, he drive, or you get it off the cut. He a guy that got to get his momentum going to the basket, but it can't work. It can't be done. I don't like Alvin Gentry as a coach. He said no matter what you Harden. Hold on. I missed that. Hold on. I'm gonna push your comment through. I'm gonna get there. He says no matter what James Harden do, you can never be the greatest shooting guard to play because Jordan and Kobe. Well, shit, you never know. What if he had one of the greatest second half runs? They can be caught. Records are meant to be broke. I'm not sure he can catch them, but records are meant to be broke. Straight up and down. Some people thought Babe Ruth home run record won't be broke, but it got broke. You know what I'm saying? Nobody ever thought that Devin Booker and Kobe Bryant did as close to Will Chamberlain as they did. Records are meant to be broke. I don't think he can do it, but you never know. What if he go on a hell of a run and win 6 straight? Who the fuck knows? I doubt it. Harden really drinking off season. You can see his body weight is normal now. He was on some Earl Spence shit. Oh, here we go. Kobe too. Yeah. He slimmed down a lot. But the real test is when the world opened back up, will he keep that tunnel vision? Vince Carter and the Dominique tier. Oh, exactly. Yep. He definitely. Yeah, that's a great tier. That's a great tier to kind of compare him in. Yep. Yeah, he and that Dominique tier. That ain't a bad tier to be in. They both two of the greatest dunkers I've ever seen. Dominique really beat Jordan in that dunk contest though, but they gave it to Jordan. I'm gonna just say that. Keem Mitchell say they call everyone the GOAT in UFC. That's a fact. Nunez a beast though. She ain't ducking Cyborg. She put Cyborg on her. Yeah, bro, that shit was crazy, bro. Yeah, I fuck with Emmanuel Nunez, bro. When she beat Chris Cyborg guys like that, I'm like, and everybody swore Cyborg was gonna run through her. She went to the smoke. She put them hands on her. And Chris Cyborg was a solid striker. I seen her spark Clarissa. Vince Young was the AB dog. Dog. Who? Young Vince. Oh, Vince Carter. Young Vince. Yeah, I liked him, man. Yeah, he was going crazy. It would have been nice if they would have kept T-Mac and him together. I think T-Mac wanted his own squad. Ooh, they would have sent T-Mac to Philly with Stephen A. Smith hating ass. VC and J. Kill was a good 1-2. I always forget about that team. Who was on the wing that team with King and Martin? Who was on the wing with that team? I forget, man. Those finals were so bad, bro. And I can't believe they swept us, dog. And they swept us in 03. That was crazy. I used to hate the fucking Nets when we played them. We got over the trip. We got over that. Oh, they had Richard Jefferson back then. I understand how that team made it to the finals, bro. Talking to Grub Media. I don't see how they was beating our ass in Detroit. We were still trying to get together. Jason Kidd, Kerry Kittles, Richard Jefferson, King Martin, and Jason Collins. Now, Richard Jefferson and Kerry Kittles was a good shooter. But the Spurs beat the fuck out of their ass. I didn't even know the Nets got 2 wins. I thought that was the sweeps. That was crazy. Yeah, it was Richard Jefferson. I thought it was him. They was they was motherfucking they was grooving back then though. They was running. They was like the modern day like a Showtime Lakers. The Lakers swept the fucking Nets. The Nets was provided some of the weakest finals of all time. That star lineup was Kobe, Derek Fisher, Kobe, Rick Fox, Rory, Shaquille O'Neal. They had Jason Kidd, Kerry Kittles, Keith Van Horn, Kenyon Martin, and Todd McCullough. I don't even know how the fuck they even made the fucking finals, bro. The East must have been weak as hell, bro. Lucius Harris, Jason Collins, Brandon Armstrong, Richard Jefferson was coming off the bench. Anthony Johnson, Kerry Kittles, Jason Kidd, Todd McCullum, Danielle Marshall, Kenyon Martin, Brian Scalabrine, Keith Van Horn, and Aaron Wood. I don't even understand how the fuck they was making it, bro. Like, goddamn, we could throw a team together in here. Jason Kidd is like underrated shit, dog. Jason Kidd carried that team to the finals. When you talking about carried, people cry about LeBron. That team wasn't shit. That team wasn't shit, dog. Jason Kidd was the truth. That was the best deal they made for Marbury for Kidd. Kidd don't get enough credit for what he did with that team. Nets went back to Pat Lawson. Hell yeah, man. The Nets don't get Kidd. Kidd really was carrying that motherfucking team. Ken Martin was the number 1 pick out of Cincinnati because he's from Michigan. But he really wasn't he really wasn't that good, bro. Like being number 1 pick wise. He was a solid pro, but dude, James Harden and Errol Spence at Christmas partying together, eating hot wings, probably so. Yeah, I love Zach LaVine game. Zach LaVine won me some big money on FanDuel. I love Zach LaVine. In my opinion, the reason why the Nets kept on beating the Pistons was because there was no other big with Ben Wallace before Rasheed. Yeah, true. I used to hate them. I was in Jamaica when the Lakers swept them. Laura Lennox said the East Bend week the Pistons was the only 50-win team and had the 1 seed. That's crazy. Oh, Jason Kidd over Steve Nash all day. Kidd was a better defensive player. Kidd was the engine for sure. He was not by himself. Ken Martin and Young Richard was pretty. Man, they both fed off of him. But yeah, Ken Martin was a dog. But he wasn't no elite motherfucker like you gonna say Shaq, Kobe, or King. But he fit well what Kidd do. They was able to get up and down the court. Steve Nash don't compare to Jason Kidd. Stop playing those games. Yeah. Yeah, I take CP3 over Steve Nash. Steve Nash is product of the system. Martin was in a weak draft as ever. I'm gonna check that out, but I do appreciate y'all for coming in, man. We're gonna do this again tomorrow. I'm gonna do some hip hop 101. Let some boxing news come up. But hey, appreciate it. Share the videos. Don't forget to check out the NBA 101 playlist.